Another day's fishing, and it's been like this for generations. But on the small trawler Emma D, tradition is being cast overboard. Skipper Arthur Bland only has a crew of one, and he's very proud of her. Yes, against all the unwritten rules, Arthur takes his wife to sea, and he says she's as good as any man.
She's all right. She can splice. She does all the towing for us. While I'm on the deck, she's towing along. She knows where to go, and I can leave her. In fact, I've left her at the bombing range to come home on her own while I've been on the deck sorting out, even through the tankers, the anchorage and everything.
But this unique working marriage isn't something Sandra was conscripted into. Even though her previous nautical experience ran only to one trip on the Humber paddle steamer, it was Sandra who suggested they pool all their financial resources to buy the £12,000 Emma D.
Frightened. Definitely frightened to start with, because it was in November last year when we first started going out, and the weather's not always very kind then.
How have you taken to it?
Love it.
The couple only operate within a 30-mile radius of Grimsby up and down the Lincolnshire and Humberside coasts. But even so, conditions can be dangerous.
Well, you take it as it comes, that's fishing. You don't earn anything easy out there. Never have, even years and years ago. Well, in fact, yesterday, I was towing along, and we must have picked the biggest tyre up in the world. How it got in the net, I don't know, but we managed to get it, but we lost the cod ends and everything. So there's one or two fish in it, but not much.
Just as this working partnership has materialised late in life, so too has Arthur and Sandra's marriage. They were childhood sweethearts who drifted apart and only met again last year. But Sandra always had a feeling time would bring them together.
I think deep down both of us always knew eventually something like this would happen. Although we both got married, we never really forgot one another. When I was widowed and we met up again, we were married within 3 months.
Life might seem idyllic for this happy couple, but all fishermen have to rely on getting a good price at the morning fish auction. Today, the Emma D's catch sells well, so there will be food tonight and money to buy fuel for tomorrow's trip.
Casey reporting. Well, we'll stay on the coast to celebrate.
Hopes are fading for a couple from Grimsby who are missing, believed drowned, after their small fishing boat vanished in the Humber estuary yesterday. Arthur Bland, who's aged 48, and his 46-year-old wife Sandra come from Julian Street in Grimsby. They were on board their 42-foot boat Emma D, which they'd only recently bought with their savings. Some debris was later found near Spurn Point, and a wreck was located 30 feet down on the river bed, but it hasn't yet been positively identified as the couple's boat. The cause of the disappearance is still a mystery. Clarence Mitchell reports.
Coastguards were out early this morning, continuing the search that began yesterday afternoon. Some floating wreckage was found in the early stages, but darkness forced the search to be called off.
So we had a search team out last night, searching the north and south banks of the river. Wreckage has been found. We believe it could be from the target that we're looking for, the Emma D. This morning we've got 2 search companies on the north bank and 20-odd men. Search companies on the south bank. We're doing a shoreline search for any further wreckage, anything it can come across.
Mr. Bland has always been a keen radio user. The alarm was raised when he wasn't heard from for some time. Apart from the floating debris, one search vessel using sonar did locate a wreck on the riverbed not far from Spurn Point. This morning, a Humberside police diving team prepared itself at the King George Dock in Hull. The 8-man team was leaving to dive on the wreck at low tide. It's aimed to confirm and positively identify the wreck as the Emma D.
The information I've got is that it'll be in about 30 feet of water on low tide, and I'm waiting to see the results of these sonar searches. Our main priority is to identify this wreck is the boat that's in fact missing, and if the circumstances permit, then we shall try and search for any bodies that may be on the vessel.
What sort of dangers are there in this sort of work for you and your men?
Well, there's the obvious dangers with all diving operations. You've got to be very safety conscious, and the added dangers in the Humber are, of course, the fast tides and the nil visibility in the water.
The Blands make an unusual fishing partnership. Married less than a year, the couple poured their savings into buying their small boat. They've used it for inshore shrimp and sole fishing. Mrs. Bland gave up a job in insurance to join her husband, an experienced fisherman. They're popular with colleagues in Grimsby.
They just started this venture where they was fishing together. They just, I think, invested their life savings into the M&D. Been associated with them for a couple of months. We basically saw them once a week when they landed their catch, and we sold their fish for them. They came in the office, had a chat with us once a week, and they was always together and seemed a very hard-working couple.
This evening, tidal conditions and poor visibility forced the police dive to end without the wreck being positively identified, and still no trace of the Blands. The Coast Guard search will continue.
Which went down in the Humber estuary yesterday has been called off for tonight. There's been no positive identification of the boat by police divers who have been searching wreckage on the Humber bed. Now the search for the husband and wife. Gillingwater reports.
It's now more than 30 hours since Arthur and Sandra Bland last made radio contact with fellow fishermen who were trawling in the Humber estuary. Since tea time yesterday, a full-scale air and sea search has been going on by Coast Guards, lifeboat crews from Hull and Cleveland, and this afternoon, police divers also joined in. They've been checking wreckage believed to be that of the Bland's boat, the M&D, found on the Humber bed.